I am back again with another video, and yesterday we're doing a bit more of an out of context, out of box kind of video, which is something much more special but much more regular than you think, which is this. Yes, this might look like a Toyota Tez, but this is a very special one, which I'll be telling you and showing you guys more about this very, very special car. I'm Junior, and you're certainly watching Junior on Cars. Like I said, it is a bit more of a special car, but to just give you guys a small brief of this car. This is a Toyota Tez. If you're South African, if you're Japanese, and yes, if you're European, this car might sound very, very familiar with one name, which is the Corolla. Yes, if you're from Europe, and yes, if you're from South Africa and Japan, this car has different names. In South Africa, we got varieties of this car. We got the Conquest, we got the Tez, and yes, in Japan, you called it the Ae92, and in South Africa, like I said, we called it different names, but in Europe, it also goes as the same code as the Japanese, which is the Ae92. But in South Africa, it's called a Toyota Tez, if this one specifically that you're talking about, which I'll be showing you in a bit. But I can't remember everything, so I had to bring down the owner of the car to tell more and make you guys understand more why this car is not any ordinary Tez than you guys think. And yes, here is the owner himself. This is his workplace, which is FSR Motorsport, which they specialize in working with cars, especially since today, which is on a Saturday. They're still working, which is very hard working, man. But please tell us more about this car then, because I don't know really much about this car specifically, so can you give us an in-depth review of this car?
Yeah, well, this is a Toyota Tez. I think it's a 2000 model. This car was born a rally car. It was never a road car. They built it in the Toyota factory, the motorsport division, back in the day. It utilizes the 1.6 20 valve throttle body motor from Toyota. The engine is basically stock standard, small modifications done to it for reliability. The gearbox is a 5-speed Toyota Motorsport gearbox with a limited slip diff. It's got a nice long first gear ratio, and then the second, third, fourth and fifth gears are very, very close to each other. It also has an upright handbrake if you want to turn the car, because rallying is all about sliding into turns and everything. And yeah, full Bilstein suspension, roll cage, a full roll cage in the vehicle, and then all the necessary rally measuring equipment and everything in the car that we will be showing you a little later about.
So yes, the owner also did say that I would be lucky enough to get a ride in it to feel and understand more why this car is much more special than you think. But let's jump into the bonnet and see what is more special than the outer exterior. Before we do that, just here's a first glance of the looks of this car. Yes, for many it might look like an ordinary car, but if you look, like he said, it has Bilstein suspension, which means that it has been rising a little bit higher. And also I love these rims. I especially love the fact that they are worn out, showing that it has been used properly. And yes, unfortunately, the owner will be selling this car, so if you want it, hey man, it's all for your guys' sake that I'm doing this video, actually, because for many people who don't understand, South Africa is not actually very big on rallying, especially in the section or the area that we are in, which is in the Free State, which is commonly known for sand and gravel, funny enough, but it doesn't actually host any rally games. But this one is a very special car, but we're gonna check under there what makes it more special. So right, we're under the bonnet now, and yes, for many, it's not a blue color and black just underneath there. It actually has been done a lot of special stuff, which the owner will go back to in a bit as well, as he will depthly explain more about what's going on underneath here, because there is a lot that actually has been done under this car that many people might think.
Yeah, well, basically you've got your standard 20 valve engine here.
Okay.
You can see it's got 4 throttle bodies on as it comes out of the factory. We've only modified the airbox a little. You don't have to put on these cone filters and stuff, especially with a rally car, because they don't filter out all the dust. So we went with a standard airbox there. It's got a nice branch that we've wrapped in the heat wrapping so that it keeps all the heat inside. And then yeah, that's basically the engine. The gearbox you cannot see from here, but it looks like a standard Toyota gearbox, but the gear ratios and everything inside the gearbox has been modified especially for rallying.
Oh wow.
You'll also see we've deleted the brake booster. We've only put the 2 cylinders on here to give you braking on the front and the rear brakes. and these brake more efficiently than a brake booster, especially on the motorsport side of stuff.
Okay. So for many people who might say, oh, if you just make your normal car into a rally car, it will be still proper rally car. Everything here is totally different compared to a normal car, especially for many people who think, well, cone air filters make a difference. Besides the noise, it doesn't actually give more power. So people should stop saying that, oh, cone air filters give more power. It doesn't do anything. It just affects your petrol consumption, and yes, it also does. Unfortunately, for many people who don't believe it, cone filters do also have a very strong effect on your guys' engines as well. But besides that, everything here might look ordinary until you understand what's going on and what has been done to this car. First of all, you can also tell that it's a proper rally car with fuses and everything sitting there, just to show you that everything has been rearranged to make sure that this car is actually done properly. And
yeah,
yes,
you can see everything has been strengthened as well to take the punishment of the gravel roads and everything. So the shock tires have been strengthened. The whole body has been seam welded to make it more rigid.
okay.
And yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into building a rally car. It's not just take your car, put some gravel tires on and you're going to go rallying. You have to prepare your car perfectly, because these cars take a lot of strain on gravel. So yeah, you need to get the car perfect, and this thing is properly built for rallying.
Exactly. And I can also assume that the bonnet itself doesn't look like an ordinary one, but it is an ordinary one, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is a normal bonnet.
And yes, this car is still made out of steel, so it will still take punishment as much as a normal test. But we'll be also taking a small walk around exterior tour, so I understand and explain more about this car specifically. So right, like I said, we're on the sides now, and yes, many, like I said, will look at it from a side view and say, oh wow, it does look technically like a normal Taz. But like I said, look at the ride height. Look at the ride height on that. That is not a normal Taz. If you look at it from the back, it might look a little bit standard, but if you look at the front, it has been very, very highly upgraded. In fact, you can even see the shocks inside there, which you can tell are not normal shocks, but road tires are normal. Rims are very special for this car, which the owner will also get into in a bit. And as I give him the platform to do so, as it is his car and he understands it more than I do. So will you give us an in-depth review of what's going on under there?
Yeah, we use Bilstein shocks on this one. It's the bit of a cheaper shock that you can use on a rally car, but you need to get the Bilsteins or the rally shocks to lift the car a bit, because you do gravel racing. You need to clear all those rocks and stuff that you go over. If you look inside here, maybe you'll also see the car has a big metal plate that runs basically to the middle of the vehicle to protect it from all the stones and stuff. And at the back, it's also got one underneath the fuel tank to protect the vehicle against all the rocks and the stones.
So the owner was also, he was also telling me that there's actually rally lights for this car, which I'll try and put a picture underneath here if we can find one, of this car actually having the rally lights, which for me, it actually makes it more official to be more of a rally car. And I just slightly noticed something on my right side, which you guys will see in a bit, but as we give the platform back to the owner to explain more.
Yeah, we also have these big mud flaps on the vehicle, on the front and the rear, to keep from heavy stones and stuff to heating the vehicle. At the back, you've also got the Bilstein shocks, also the mud flaps, and it's got hydraulic handbrake with disc brakes and stuff at the rear. The front brakes have also been upgraded. And that's basically it for the suspension.
And the owner forgot to mention one thing when it comes to these cars, is that people might think, oh, these cars are just normal daily cars, but these cars are actually quite special, especially this one, which you guys can see from the camera, that it actually has a full-on roll cage at the back. And just to show you, it's a really official one. Look, literally no stuff that you don't use in a car. You can actually see everything in this car that is actually properly stripped down. The dashboard might look a bit similar to a normal car on top, but if you look at the gauges, nothing looks standard to a normal Taz. You also don't get a wind mirror, which is super cool, and you can actually see the inside of the car, which is so nice. And yes, as we step into the side of the car, the owner will briefly explain a bit more difference than compared to a normal Taz from the back as well.
Well, basically the back end, it's a normal Taz at the back. We only added this little wing over here for when we're doing the high speed stages, just to get the airflow over the vehicle a bit better and not create that much of a backdraft at the back of the car so that you can carry higher speeds on the gravel roads.
So it's just for drag, this whole wing.
Just for the drag coefficient to make it a bit lower.
And just to show you guys, it doesn't even have a brake light. Just to show you how different it is. But we're about to jump inside and show you guys that it's very, very different from outside as well, from the inside. So right, yes, we are back into the car. Yes, we are back into the interior. And first off, we can start off with, look at that. Tell me that doesn't look nothing like a Tez. You can see the exposed metal of the car, including from the back to the front. It has a full-on roll cage from the front to the back, and yes, the boot does open like a regular car, and yes, you get your spare tire. And I love the fact that it have all the safety stuff, the fire extinguisher, your first aid kit, and also you get this harness right here if you get stuck. You also do get a small board that the owner just explained to me that the green part means that if it is green, you can proceed to go, and if it has another part, which is this one right here, which means that the person who is with the driver or the driver himself might have got very seriously injured, so the rally has to stop. But besides that, every single part of the car is just normal, including from this as well, which is where the helmets will be sitting. It has a full-on harness that moves to the front seats, which are both there. And yes, we'll be hopefully getting a ride as well, and we'll be jumping into a few bits in the front as well, so the owner can explain a bit. But this is just a brief to just show you how cool and sophisticated rally cars are compared to normal cars, including there is where you mount the roll cage, which is super cool as well. And I love the fact that everything in here is fully done to show that this car is proper rally. None of this sound deadening and everything that would weigh a car down. This is bare metal machine, and that is very cool. But like I said, the owner will go a bit more deeper into those gadgets in front, which I have no idea what they do, but you guys will see that in a bit. So as like I said, the owner will go a deeper more into this wild stuff that I hear, and as you will explain in a bit.
Okay, let's start off at the left hand side. This here is the engine management system. We've moved it inside the car just to make it safer. It won't get any water here, anything. So everything is located inside the car. Even if you look down here, all the fuel pipes, the brake lines, everything runs inside the vehicle. It's been moved from the outside to the inside to protect it from rocks and stones and anything hitting those lines, to make it safer for you. And as the owner says, these stuff have been moved inside, which usually means they will be sitting outside. So which means for them to be moved from there to here, which means that the car had to be fully redone so that everything can be accommodated. And a brake line, for many people who don't know, feeds from the engine going down. So imagine how much work it had to be done so that these stuff can be put inside, not outside, which means that this car is not the same as a normal Taz is. So don't say, oh, rally Tazes look same, or they are the same as a normal Taz would be. They are not. They are fully different, especially this one, including that it has a roll cage and every single monstrosity that is on this dashboard, which the owner will get back to in a bit. Okay, yeah, the next thing you'll notice is this little gadget over here. It's a Sabre trip odometer. This is what gives you the exact distances between your calls, your left turns, your right turns, your hairpins, all those type of things. It basically just gives you nice distances. There you can turn it into a stopwatch, you can turn the clock on, you can do the speed, GPS speed of the vehicle, how much fuel you've got in the tank, and there's your distances. This is the crucial part of any rally car. The navigator uses this to give you the exact calls and the exact times and spacing between calls. So if you guys are flabbergasted why rally cars are so good, is because not only does the driver have to be depending on the co-driver, but everything is meant to be as sharp and also precise as it has to be, so that there can be less accident and more wins to happen. Yeah. Okay, next thing we can see, there's a little light here. It's not very fancy. No, it's not very fancy. It's just a little, yeah, you can see it makes a little light. Oh, that's wow. For the navigator to check their notes in night races, so that they can actually read what they are doing. Behind that, you've got these little two thingies over here. They plug into the helmets. It's for the intercom system, so that you can communicate with your navigator. You put the intercom on over here and tune the volume. Because inside this car, if you don't have a helmet and an intercom system, you will not hear anything. It's very, very loud inside here. Then basically, This is your on-off switch. This is your start button. Here we've got the 3 different spotlight switches. If you've got the spotlights on, you can switch them on over here. At the bottom here, you've got your fan switch. That's your battery voltage. These ones are not used at this stage. Your gear lever, and this guy over here. This is the big kahuna. This thing makes the Taz turn just where you want to turn it.
And many who don't understand, that is a hydraulic handbrake right there. That is the same hydraulic handbrakes that they use in drifting and everything, and also in rallying. So it has been naturally used for everything, in fact. And I love the fact that the dials are still standard. They're still there. Nothing much hasn't changed. But the steering wheel, oh yes, that is not a normal steering wheel from a Taz. As you can see, it's a sparkle steering wheel. And I can assume it's quick release?
No,
Oh, it's not quick release, it's inside. So it is, as you can see, and like I said, this car is not as the same as a normal car. But this is the crucial part about this car. It's not the same as a normal car, and yes, we will be getting a ride in it to just see and feel how it is to be inside a car that is insanely like this as well. So the owner of this car just showed me a bit of the pedigree of the car, and as you can see, it has taken a lot of dust before, and it has done a lot of work, which is very, very good. And I just love the fact that they have done actually some proper rallying in it. It's not some shoe and shine car they just claim to have done rallying. As you can see, it has done a lot of dirt work, and that is super, super good. And yes, it does do as it was intended to be built to be done. And I just love the fact that it also did have delivery, but as like I said, it has been taking a lot of dust and has done a good job. So it's very good to see a car actually being used, or was being used for proper use. So like I said, we're going for a small ride, and if you can't hear, it is because, like I said, this car is fully dialed in, and as you can hear, it's just the loudness. Yeah, this is dialed in. It is properly dialed in. Oh my god. Oh my god. For many people who can't hear, this thing is dialed in. It is properly dialed in. And I love the fact that it's not no cookie cutter, it's properly dialed in. As you can hear, there is nothing that you can hear properly in this car. It's properly dialed in. And as will be demonstrated, the speed is a bit insane. Jesus Christ! No, this car is insane. This car is insane. For many people who like videos like this, go subscribe. This car is one of the insanest cars I've been in. And if you want more videos like this, you know what to do. So bye.